Glad that you joined us today. We are, a minute getting ready for this. So let's just wait those next couple seconds or 1 minute and we'll start the webinar. I'd love to hear, or actually if you could type in the chat box, the message, if you could just tell me that you can hear me. And also what I'll do, let me check if I can go to share my screen. So let me do that now. Okay, so Brian, hear you fine. Michael, yes. Mike here. All right. I hear you 5 by 5. I can hear you. Hi, Stephane. I can hear you. Tatiana, awesome. Can you also see my screen? I just shared my screen now. Yes. Thank you, Tatiana. All right. Good to see you, all of you here. And so I think we're right there. Let me ask Karen. Karen, I saw a message. You tried to call me, and so let me just try to see if I can unmute you real quick. I'm not sure if you already started the recording, or if you will. I can hear you though. I heard a whisper. Okay. Are you? Can you talk, Karen? Okay. Are you recording tonight or no? Awesome. Okay, very good. So I'll just unmute you back again.
Muted.
Thank you for that. So what I want to do with you, everyone, is I want to go over this presentation. This is basically a presentation I used many years ago, and that helped me present to customers who were looking at improving their health. They just didn't know, many of them didn't know about the importance of supplements. So what I did is I created this presentation based on 2 flyers that Tim Sales created many years ago. And one of the flyers was why do people age, get sick, get diseases? And the other one was how do vitamin mineral supplements, I don't remember the exact title, but anyway, those were the two flyers that he created. And what I did is I was using those flyers, and when I sat down with a prospect, I would go over the flyers, point to a picture, and show them, what this picture means, and explain basically what was written in the text. But I would not read the text, obviously. And sometimes what I would do is I would get some people asking me questions similar to the ones you saw on my announcement for this webinar. And questions like, I'm not sure if I really need this because I already eat healthy, so why would I really need supplements? Because I eat, fruits and vegetables and I eat well. And some others would say, well, let me ask my doctor first. Some others would try to compare these products to other brands, and they would feel sometimes other brands would be less expensive. There would be all kinds of reasons. Someone would say, oh, I'm not sick, or I take supplements only in the winter, like vitamin C, vitamin D, because I need more of those in the winter. It's known, but the rest of the year we don't need those. And so basically, I would be challenged with all these kind of questions, which I didn't know what to answer. And so what I started to do was study and try to find the answers to those questions. And eventually that led me to the presentation I'm going to share with you tonight. So what I did is I picked some of the items or the explanation from the flyers, and I added more content to it to eventually cover all of these questions that my prospect would have, which in turns got me many, many, many customers. And those customers kept buying month after month after month. And so So basically, this is a lesson I learned where it's always best to include in your presentations all the questions or objections prospects have so you can handle them as you go. And then at the end, they don't have any more questions or objection. They're ready to buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over this. I created this PowerPoint not because I'm using this with, if I'm doing a one-on-one presentation, I would still use the flyers, but I would basically educate myself on this presentation so that if I'm sitting down with someone, I can cover the other elements that were coming up, like these other questions. If you're doing a live group meeting, this would be a great PowerPoint to use if you're doing that. So, but in person, I don't like to use a PowerPoint just because it's too formal. All right, people will look at the presentation and it looks like really a sales presentation. It's actually a very educational presentation, but I like to have a more casual conversation with someone else and using the flyer, pointing to pictures. I mean, it's more friendly. It's almost like looking over a magazine together. So this is why I've been creating this presentation, but just as a tool for education. All right, so I'll go over this, and so if there's any question at the end, we'll jump in. But basically, this covers mainly all of the points. Now, what I'm suggesting is, right now the focus in RX is on the weight loss brand, and I suggest we focus on that as well. But here's what's going to happen. There's going to be people who will join the business or who will buy the products, and they'll need to know why they should take these vitamins, these minerals, and these, omega-3 and all these other products. And so this would be a good tool for them to go over and learn more about the importance of supplements. So let's start with this. So life expectancy, and I'm talking about the United States, but if you look over, around the world, the same thing happened. All right. In 1950, people were living up to, actually on average was 65 years old. Today, life expectancy is more than 77 years, all right, years old. And if the trends continue, in 2030, men who reach the age of 65 are expected to live an additional 17.3 years and spend nearly a quarter of their lives in retirement. This is a big deal, all right? So you will determine how you will live those years by the actions you start taking today. And this explanation will show you the cause of diseases and how to prevent or slow down the aging process. And what you will notice, and I'm sure you've noticed that before, you probably ask yourself questions like, why is it that someone looks younger than the other one? Why is someone more healthy than the other one? And these two people are approximately the same age. And but the way they design their life is totally different. And so there are people who live their life with pain, diseases, and stress, while there are others who actually enjoy an exciting and healthy life, right? So that's basically what happens. You need to determine by your choices every day how you will live the rest of your life. And so 100 years ago, people were dying of different diseases than we're dying today. Prior to the 19th century, doctors were basically administering the very few medicine that were in existence in those days, and it was by trials and errors that they observed which medicine cured which disease. And so they accumulated all this knowledge over centuries, and that was passed on to cultures and other generations. But when medicine or a treatment worked, well, doctors didn't know why it worked. The underlying theories that explain infections and antibiotics that these produced had to wait basically until the widespread of the optical microscope. And if you look at here, I'm showing you this, microscope, and you look at 100 years ago, people died of polio, malaria, tuberculosis, and other type of diseases like this. All right, those diseases were basically like infections diseases. All right, and so today it's a little bit different. All right, today we're basically dying of different type of diseases, and I'm relating to cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer, these type of diseases, and these basically are at a cellular level. They're not infections, they're actually degenerative diseases. And so just to give you an idea what a cellular level means, it takes about 10,000 human cells to cover the head of a pin. So that's how small cells are. Now today we know that the critical functions performed by exercise, vitamins, minerals, and all of these nutritional supplements, they actually take place at a molecular level. And because each cell is composed of trillions of molecules, these functions cannot even be detected with an optical microscope like the one you see on the left side. Now, the thing that happened is basically many years ago, the electron microscope was invented. And before that, scientists were unable to study the molecular structure of cells and how they function. And this basically led us to, the Western medical school that, today, or actually for many years, and still today, we still see that happen, where they virtually ignore the importance of nutrition and the effect of vitamins, minerals, and natural supplements. During that time, during the 20th century, while Western medicine was ignoring the importance of diet and exercise in preventing disease, the amount of exercise performed by individuals declined due to labor-saving devices in the home, and also the machines, the equipments that we've been using at the workplace. And the quantity and variety of vitamins, minerals in our diets declined as well, as food became more processed and less varied. So these and many other factors also contributed to the epidemic in obesity and ill health that we have today. So today, as I said earlier, people don't die of infectious diseases, we die of cancer, heart disease. These things are degenerative diseases. And so what we found, or what these scientists found, is a lack of antioxidants, which is a technical term for some vitamins, minerals, is at the foundation of degenerative diseases. So what I'd like to do is kind of explain a little bit about what those antioxidants are exactly, how they work in your body. All right, so if you look here, what you'll see is, our body is composed of cells, and that's what you see here on the screen. And basically, we don't age. It's our cells that do. We don't get sick. We don't get diseases. It's our cells that do. And so to slow down the aging process and limit sickness or prevent diseases, we must feed our body, our cells, properly. And cells are made up of atoms. A healthy atom has a pair of electrons, as you can see here. All right, so it has a pair. It can be 2, 4, 6, doesn't matter. It is always balanced. But the thing is, an atom that is missing an electron is actually called a free radical. And you hear that term mentioned a lot if you're reading any kind of article or anything around, antioxidants, health, nutrition. You hear about free radicals. And so this is what it could, in graphic terms, look like. Free radicals are Not just bad, by the way, they actually destroy the surrounding cells by stealing electrons from um, other atoms. Um, so where do they come from? Well, they come from stress, they come from pollution, from pesticides, from airline travel, from medication, x-rays, you name it. Basically, we're attacked by free radicals every single day. Even if you were to trying to hide in your closet or anywhere, you'd still get attacked by free radicals. So what's the solution? Well, I'm sure your mom told you, like mine, you need to eat your fruits and vegetables because why? It's important for your health. And why is that? It's because those have antioxidants. And so that's what you see on the bottom right of your screen right here is these are antioxidants. Now, antioxidants have multiple electrons. And I'll come back to this slide in a moment. I just want to describe a picture here. And this is an explanation I heard from Dr. Strand many, many years ago. He said, imagine yourself in front of a crackling fireplace. And, you know, what's happening is most of the time the fire, it burns safely. But on some occasions, out pops a hot cinder that lands on your carpet and burns a little hole in it. Now, one cinder by itself doesn't pose too much of a threat. But if this sparking and popping continues month after month, year after year, you will have a pretty ratty carpet in front of your fireplace. Well, the fireplace represents the furnace of the cell. And we call that, in scientific term, it's the mitochondria. Now, the cinder is the charged free radical, and the carpet is your body. Whichever part of your body receives the most free radical will be the first to wear out and potentially cause one of these degenerative diseases. So, for example, if it's your arteries, you could develop a heart attack or a stroke. If it's your brain, you could develop Alzheimer's dementia or Parkinson's disease. If it's your joints, you could develop arthritis. So, through biochemical research, we're basically learning that we are not defenseless against this attack our body, by free radicals. Antioxidants are like these, and if you look at the fireplace right now, you see these kind of either glass doors or mesh, all right, doors that basically protect our body, or the fireplace, or these little hot cinder to land on your carpet. Now the sparks are still going to fly, but our carpet will then be protected. So as you begin to imagine the war that is taking place inside every single cell of your body, it's like an invasion where the enemy, free radicals, and your allies, antioxidants, are fighting all the time. One is protecting your body, the other one is, trying to fight to attack it. This is what's going on. And antioxidants basically will protect your cell, the membrane of your cell, and basically against these free radicals. So let me illustrate the process. So you have an antioxidants that you provide your body with, and the next thing you know, the first step is that free radicals, or that that electron, is passed on to that atom, which neutralizes that free radical and transforms it back into a good cell. So where do we get them? We get them from good food, especially these greens and very colorful food. This is where we get them. All right, so that's how we want to provide our body with as many of those antioxidants to protect itself. Another one is a bottle of vitamins, all right, minerals supplement. This is what's happening in our body. So here's what's going on here. This slide basically shows you an example of a heart disease. All right, what's going on here in your in your arteries is that there's blockage. All right, so the free radicals will damage the fat and make it sticky. So the fat is going to travel through the artery, and free radicals, by making it sticky, it stick through the walls, and it creates blockage. And so that's basically the point here. Now, that's leading to a heart disease. If you look at now another example of another disease, we take the cell, and if the brain of the cell is actually damaged by free radical, what's going to happen is that cell could reproduce, and if it reproduced itself in an altered state, it will lead to a cancer. So this is why you see the importance of having as many antioxidants in your body to protect yourself against those things from happening. All right, so you want to provide your body with as much as it can. So one of the questions I got sometimes is that someone says, well, I eat very healthy. I eat lots of vegetables and greens and all of this. Well, the thing is, you may eat, fruits and vegetables for the nutrition that they provide you, like the phytochemicals and all of that, but are you eating enough? And are you eating the right? And are they filled with the good nutrition? Well, here's a little picture that I really like, is that inside the soils, there are the minerals. And so when the plant is ripe, the nutrients are released to come up the stalks. All right, so they just climb here. And the reason it's doing that, it's because the plant is going to turn, it's going to spoil, or let's say a fruit is going to spoil. Why? Because it's going to basically be attacked by the environment, the sun, everything around it. And so basically it asks for the minerals that are in the soil to protect it. So this is what's going on. But the problem is today, when do we actually cultivate all of these good, fruits and vegetables? We cultivate them before they are ripe. And so let's say you purchase a banana at the store, very often it's green, and it turns yellow on your shelf. And when it's on the shelf and it's turning yellow, it sends a signal to the plant saying, send me the minerals. But the plant is somewhere else in another country, of course. So they're totally disconnected from the minerals. So you have less and less of those minerals in your food today for that, that reason, basically. All right, so that's one example, one of the reasons we can't eat right. The second reason is because around the world, mineral depletion from the soil over the past 100 years is 85% in North America. South America, we're talking about 76%, 76% in Asia, and so on. That was from 1992. It's still decreased over the years, all right? So that's a old report, but we can see that it has been decreasing tremendously. And so, you see, what we need to do is, even though you were to grow food in your own backyard, you're still lacking a lot of the minerals in soil today, unfortunately. You get more, obviously. It's so much better, but you're not having enough. And most people buy their food at the store. So you have two choices when you're buying supplements. Choice number one is you're going to buy from a health food store where you get food that is picked green without pesticides, all right, which is a good thing. Or you go to the regular grocery store and you get food picked green with pesticides, which is not a good thing either. Right? And so when I say it's a good thing for the first option, the only good thing is it's without the pesticide, but it's still picked green. So both are picked green without the nutrients that are stored in the roots until the plant is, ripens. And so what's your solution? All right. So basically, this is why today it's harder and harder to buy food that is filled with nutrients. So Um, Now, what are side effects to a lack of vitamins and minerals? Well, let's just take a couple examples here. Headaches, it's lack of B6, selenium, fatigue, allergies, anxiety, fatigue, it's copper, calcium, hyperactivity, hypertension. So as you can see, you will experience symptoms of lack of, minerals and vitamins. These are just symptoms. What I mean by just symptoms, it's because these are just signs of something going wrong. And signs basically tell you something's going wrong so that you can prevent something from worsening. So your goal is to make sure you don't just take those symptoms lightly. You need to act. You need to do something to counteract this, because this is just on the short term, but long term can lead to very dangerous, problems. So if someone is taking medication, and this is quite amazing, because if you go see the doctor and they prescribe you some medication, the first thing they should also do is prescribe to you some supplements to take. So if you take aspirin, for example, well, you're depleted. Aspirin will deplete your body from vitamin B6, B2, vitamin C, vitamin D, folic acid, iron, and potassium. If you take birth control pill, you're going to be depleted by B1, B2, B3, B6, B12, vitamin C, calcium, folic acid, magnesium, and zinc, and so on. And so, has your doctor prescribed to you any supplements when they prescribe medication? If they don't, well, you should probably reconsider your doctor or ask for help. Do something. All right, and so this is very important to go over this. All right, so now one thing you've probably heard of is the baby boomer generation. We hear about them from every single angle. They are defined as a group of babies that were born between 1946 and 1964. There were 76 million of them that were born in the U.S., a billion worldwide. And so what are they talking about? They're one-third the U.S. population, and they control 65% of the money. And today the oldest boomer is in their 60s, and basically it's a very rapidly growing trend amongst the boomer to look for things that are basically helping the aging process, slowing down the aging process. They want to look better, they want to feel better, they want to have more energy, live longer. This is what's going on. They're kind of past the fast cars and the gorgeous home. Yes, some of them still want those, but one of the things they're concerned more about is their health. And so, just ask yourself, what good is a vacation home in the mountains if pain prevents you from skiing or hiking or walking? And what about your ability to travel and even, a short walk on the beach? All right, so these are things that the boomers are looking for today. And here's what I found fascinating, is that it's not just the boomers. The boomers initiated trends. But because we are surrounded with, publicity left and right from on the internet, on the television, magazines, and everywhere, it always talk about living healthier, living longer, having more energy. The younger generations pick on those things. And they are the ones right now who are actually embracing this health trend. It's not something that's going to, go down. It's actually a trend where even younger generations are embracing right now. So this is very, very important to go over this and really understand trends and timing and what's going on, but also what you can do about your health. All right, so I'm just coming back to these two pictures, and I will explain something to you right after this. But what I wanted to go is to close this first part of this explanation with this slide, with these two women, because I think it wraps up what we just talked about. You see, everyone will die, but how you look and feel for the last 20 to 50 years depends on your lifestyle. and the vitamins, minerals intake throughout your entire life. So now that you know about this, it's time to take action and create the life you want, the way you want. And so make sure you take care of this. All right, so now let's move to the second part, which is very important here, and this is usually something that people ask me. How do I select a good supplement? It can be confusing when you're trying to choose a good supplement. So what I'll cover in the next couple of slides is the three most important issues when you're trying to find or select a good vitamin mineral supplement. The first aspect is the supplement safe to take? You see, vitamins, mineral supplements are simply an encapsulated group of ingredients that are taken from plants or created in a laboratory, and inside the capsule can be many harmful substances. Both can, be immediate or accumulative ones. So that's one thing to look for, and I'll come back to this in a moment on the next slide. The second aspect is, does the supplement get absorbed? You see, supplements, just like food, travel from the stomach to the intestines, to the bloodstream, and to their final destination. And that's if everything goes right. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong. All right, the third aspect is, are there proven health benefits? You see, companies will boast, hope I'm using the right term here, but they will increase or try to show superior ingredients. They're going to say, oh, liquid vitamins are better than capsules, or capsules are better than tablets, and so on. You should not be distracted by the hype. The bottom line is, do they have proven health benefits from taking the supplements? That's what you need to know. So let's go back to our point number one. Is the supplement safe to take? Here's what's going on. Scientific-based nutrition companies, and I'm not talking about the supplier of ingredients. All right, I'm talking about the company that puts those together. They will test for contaminants. And companies that do test for contaminants will reject as much as 30% of the ingredients due to contamination from so-called contamination-free ingredients. Hope you got this. So what do they do with the rejected products? Well, they are sold to companies that don't do testing. And you can find lots of them on the shelves at the store these days. And if you read some articles recently, a colleague of mine, Marcus, was posting an article about Walmart and big stores that were selling supplements that had really, really bad ingredients in them. And so this is what's going on, is you're putting those things in your body. You think you're healthy by eating the supplements, but if you're not taking care of what's going on inside of those capsules, what are you taking? Do they really do research, or is it just a bunch of hype and marketing to sell supplements? So you need to make sure the company is doing testing, all right, on all these things. So the second aspect is, does the supplement get absorbed? You see, minerals, for example, are difficult to absorb by the body. And so a process called chelation substantially increases absorption. With some minerals, absorption can be lower than 10%. So, can you, I don't know if you see the picture, I don't know how it comes across on your end, but what you see here are tablets. And so, where are they? They are right there. They have not digested. They're in your colon, not even digested. So if you pay $30, and sometimes people say, oh, well, I'm only paying $30 or $20 for a bottle of supplements, but you only absorb 10%. So basically that bottle is really costly, because you basically eliminated $27. All right. And so this is not working. So you need to take in consideration when selecting a supplement the absorption. All right, this is very, very important right here. So now, another point is, are there proven health benefits? This is an important point. There is a difference between proven ingredients and a proven product. A proven ingredient means that a study has been conducted to prove an ingredient, such as vitamin C, that it has health benefits. A proven product, which might contain several ingredients, they will have done a clinical trial to prove that there are health benefits from taking the product. Just like what have we done recently with our weight loss program? There's been a clinical study not on the ingredients, but on the whole program. So, there's a ton of products out there. But what you need to know is, what do they have to look for in those supplements to see how different they are? And so let me take you over a couple different points. And here, I wrote here, if you aren't taking a product that is proven effective, what kind of product are you taking? So the first element that you need to look for is, first of all, when they do these quality steps to evaluate a supplement, they have what they call master batch records. And it's a detailed step-by-step description of the entire production process for a specific product. The master batch records explain exactly how the product is produced. That's the first, very important point. Now, pharmaceutical companies are required to do that. Over the counter, they're required to do that. Nutrition companies are also required to do that. Okay, so that's one step in the quality production process. The second point is validation documentation. It basically ensures that the product consistently produces results to a predetermined standard. And if it does not, that there are sufficient warnings and procedures so that the final product is not altered. So, pharmaceutical, required. Over-the-counter, required. And it's optional for nutrition companies. All right, let's go to the next one. Material and physical, what's the term? Analytical testing. Yeah, it just appeared a little bit slow on my screen here. This is basically, it's required to ensure that the product is loaded with the required amount of active ingredients, and that the product has the desired stability and effect and is free of contaminants. As you can see, pharmaceutical, over-the-counter, it's required, but nutrition, it's optional. So the reason I have this peanut come up on my screen is because you would look at that and say, okay, if I throw all of this in there in your food and you decide to eat the whole thing, are you getting any benefit? Well, actually, where the benefit is, it's inside of that peanut. All right, the nut itself. It's not the shell. You don't eat the shell. You eat the fruit of it. So that's why when I'm talking about material, physical, and analytical testing, it's that you are loading your supplements with the active ingredients, not just the whole thing. So if, for example, a plant has certain medicinal properties, they have some nutrition, you're not going to just take the whole plant and put it in a supplement. Well, I say you won't, but that's what a lot of companies are doing. Why? Because it's optional. It's a lot of trouble to go through this process of isolating the active ingredients and only using that part of the plant. You could use the entire plant instead. They're going to save a ton of money. Of course, it's going to be a cheaper product, but the end result is you, the consumer, are paying for the part that is not important. And so you think you're getting the same supplement, so you go at the store and you buy a supplement that has grapeseed extract, And so you look at the bottle, oh, it's grapeseed extract. Yeah, but which part of the extract are you getting? So this is one important aspect of selecting a supplement. So most companies, they're not required to go through that. Now, shelf life stability testing is done to provide evidence on how the quality of a product varies with time under the influence of many different factors like environmental factors, temperature, light, humidity, and basically they establish a retest period for the product or a shelf life for the product and recommended storage conditions. Very important, all right? You don't want to take a product that has very, very low effectiveness because you just ran past the shelf life or the stability of the product, of the ingredients. So if you're taking a supplement that's been on the shelf for many, many months and they haven't done the testing, they don't know when the product is actually decreasing in value as far as the active ingredients, then you're just taking a supplement that is not healthy at all. So, but again, it's costly for a company because they know the product is going to last less time than it's supposed to be getting the most benefits, but also to run the test. I mean, it costs money again. So that's an important point right here. Fifth one is finished goods physical and analytical testing. They analyze the products as to whether it should be released, reprocessed, or destroyed. How many times a company will look at a product and do the testing if they have to, if they want to, and then figure out that, oh, the product is not really worthy of releasing, but they just release it because they spent a ton of money on the product. So that's what's going on right here. And the fifth one is retention, sampling, and lot, traceability. And it's useful if something unexpected happens with the product and will allow people to trace back, where the basically the batch is, and so the supplier can call back the product or send a warning or something. So this one is required by all organizations. So basically, as you can see, out of 6 points, there's only 2 of them that are required. So what does that tell you? There's a lot going on when you want to choose a supplement. And so if you don't pay attention to those details, well, what are you taking? Are you taking a supplement that's safe? Are you taking a supplement that's filled with contaminants and toxins? Are you taking a supplement that has very little active ingredients, or that doesn't even get absorbed, or that it's past its shelf life because the company never did any of the testing to tell you that the shelf life we wrote on the bottle is the correct one? All of those elements are important when selecting a supplement. So sometimes you're looking at saving money. What you're actually doing is not saving money. You're spending money on a product that is not effective at all, that is not giving you the benefits, but only that, it's actually contaminating your body. So this is how you select a good supplement. I hope this has been helpful. I'm just going to look and see if I have some questions. Okay, questions are here. Okay, so Normari was asking, how do you identify the first aspect when you are looking whether or not the company do the test? How can I look for that info? You call the company. And then many times a company will not basically answer those questions. They're not going to reveal all of these things. They don't have to, right? So it's not mandatory for them to do that. So basically you call the company and you ask, what kind of testing are you running? What are you doing exactly? And then I have Anna. She asked, where will this this recording be? I would like to go over it, as that's what I am working with right now. Awesome. Well, Anna, we're going to post it in our group, Facebook group, so you'll be able to access that. Fury says extremely helpful. Thank you, Gil. Amazing. All right. Thank you, guys. Well, that's great. To hear your feedback. And basically, this little presentation has helped me tremendously in educating customers and seeing the value of taking supplements. It's not just about symptoms, because sometimes someone may also say, well, I'm never sick. Oh, yeah, but are you protecting yourselves long term? What are you doing for your long-term health? And I think now you understand the importance of, how your cells function, how to protect yourselves, what's going on in your body long-term, but also in the short-term, the symptoms. So if you're sick, it's just a symptom of something's going wrong. So with this being said, I'm just going to let you guys, if you've got any more comments, you can post them here. Besides that, we will be happy to post a recording so you guys can refer back to this. And by the way, if you ever use some kind of a presentation like this, if you want to explain that to someone, don't link this to the products. Okay, so you got to make sure that we're talking about, cancer, heart disease, and all that, and we cannot make claims. It's important that the law prohibits us from making claims that our product will cure cancer or anything like that. And we know that's not the case. That's not what I'm saying here. So basically, you just want to present the information, educate a customer, and then they're going to ask, so what do you recommend? Well, doctors have looked at products that respect all these criteria, and here's what they found. This product line respect these criteria of good supplementation, healthy practices in manufacturing and all that. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. I see Margie. Thanks so much. Explained very well. Mylene, thanks, Stephane. So helpful. Sandra, first step therapy is getting a lot of traction. Oh, you're right, Sandra. That's a great point. And so that concept of first step therapy was introduced to us, I think a year or a year and a half ago. I'm not remembering exactly when, but what happened is that doctors are supposed to give you a first step therapy when they find that you have some kind of a health challenge. And the first step therapy means that you provide your body with good nutrition. You eat healthy, you may exercise, you may take supplements to help your body, and that's what we call the first step therapy. And then you should lead into a drug or something else like this. Drugs should be a second step therapy, right? Not the first step. And so that's why if you look at our branding of Nutrify, it actually has first step therapy on it, and that's why we're referring to that. So thank you for bringing this up, Sandra. So, okay, I'm just going through the comments here. Bravo, thank you. All right, that's Kevin. Terrence, hi, Stephane. Can you explain the difference between providing whole food or whole fruit benefits versus isolating beneficial ingredients? Terrence, that's a great question. What I'll do is, instead of just going back into the entire presentation, maybe we can post that in our group and just answer it there. Thanks for bringing this up, though. That's a good point. Lynette, thanks, Stephane. Very important info. Great. Judy, great information. Thanks so much. Thanks, Judy. Greg, thanks again for the training. Always take new awareness from your presentations. Thank you, Greg. Okay, Terrence, for example, the cacao plant, I think, is known for a beneficial tea when the whole leaf is used. When they isolate the active ingredient, they get cocaine. Great point. So, yeah, let's post these comments in the group. Guys, you should go under the webinar, please, and just leave your comments there. It's always good for others also on the team to see what you got out of a training, and just get your whole team on these type of trainings so they learn more. And I hope you guys take your supplements tonight and tomorrow morning. Don't miss a day without them. You need those, and we want to keep you healthy. Thank you, everyone. Great to spend the evening with you. And we'll see you on the next webinar. And by the way, we've got some really cool stuff coming up. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon.